God provides.
Paul's letters to the church in Rome contain a comprehensive and doctrine-rich presentation of the gospel. In these writings, Paul wanted to encourage the young Christians, so he reminded them that even though we as Christians go through all sorts of struggles and persecutions, God is still in charge. Nothing can turn away his intense love for us, even to the end. So we start this lesson with an indisputable declaration for those who love God, who have heard his call, and who responded positively to his invitation to walk according to his purpose. For those people, God causes all things to work together for good. The first verse of our lesson, verse 28, stresses that not only are all things for God's glory, but also for the good of his people. Events in our lives, pleasant as well as unpleasant, are not accidental. They are God's handiwork. Events in our lives are connected together. They don't stand alone. These events mold us and contribute to our good growth and God's glory. Through trials and tribulations, sunshine and rain, God's got your back. Anybody who tells you that they know everything or they never make a mistake is lying. And as I read this part of Romans 8, I must admit that Isaiah 55 and 8 came to mind. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declared the Lord. This part of the lesson takes some study because Paul is teaching about predestination here. Clearly, he wants us to know that we're not on our own. God is in total control. God knew all before the world began. The days that we are given, the hair upon our head, he knew the decisions we would make. It seems that Paul is saying that God has decided from the outset to shape the lives of those who will someday choose to love him. He will shape those lives along the lines of Jesus' life. Jesus stands as the firstborn, the son, the heir, the precious, as the role model for life. After setting Jesus as the role model, God calls by name, inviting those who will choose to love him to be a part of his family, and they are justified by the grace through Jesus. He stays with them until the end, gloriously completing what he has begun. In essence, God's got your back. The rest of the lesson, in essence, expresses the confidence that Christians should have in light of the indisputable declarations that we've just studied. It goes on to say, if God is for us, then there is no enemy that can harm us, and there is nothing which he will not do for us as his children. Paul further writes that God, the judge of the universe, has declared us to be righteous through the works of his Son Jesus. Who then would dare to accuse us before God? He writes, would anyone dare to condemn us before the God who has given his only Son to save us? In essence, God's got your back. Paul asked the rhetorical question, do you think anyone is going to be able to drive a wedge between us and Christ's love for us? And then he answers his own question saying, no, not trouble, not hard times, not hatred, not hunger, not homelessness, not bully threats, not backstabbing, not even the worst sins can separate us from the love of God. You can feel the depths of Paul's emotions in his writings now. He writes, they can kill us because of their hate. Like helpless lambs, they can pick us off one by one. We are courageous beyond reason. We know that we will be victorious because Jesus loves us. With a boldness that comes from a strong faith, he writes to inspire this church in Rome. I am absolutely convinced that nothing living or dead, nothing angelic or demonic, today or tomorrow, high or low, thinkable or unthinkable, absolutely nothing can get between us and God's love because of Jesus, and the way He has embraced us. And this lesson is so appropriate for today's time. He's saying to us, it doesn't matter if they hurt us, if they kill us, if they hate us. It doesn't matter how badly we're treated. We will be victorious, for God loves us and God has our back.
To bury my 17-year-old son.
Each of us has lived through our own tragedies, which are all different.
I just want people to understand it.
I'd like to thank all of you all for wishing me a happy birthday, all the emails. Thank you very much. It was heartfelt. And that's the lesson for this week. Have a great week. Bye.